With the thousands and thousands of fragrances on the market, there are a lot that I absolutely love, but then there are some that I don't love, that just either they don't work with my skin's chemistry or they just don't smell right to me. If you want to know which 5 fragrances I love and the 5 I don't, keep watching. Hey, welcome back to Sasha Scents. I'm Sasha. If you so happen to be new here, I mostly do fragrance reviews, so if you enjoy that type of content, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I would absolutely love to have you as part of this fragrance family. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 fragrances that I love and 5 fragrances that I don't. And I'm not going to use the word hate because that is a very strong word and it can be very offensive to those of you who may happen to love the fragrances that I don't. And I want you to know this video is just based on my opinion, and everybody's opinion is so different. That's what makes us all unique. Something I love, you may not, or something you love, I may not. Now, I saw Maria Colette did a video like this where she had 5 fragrances that she loves and 5 that she didn't. And so I thought that would be perfect. So I decided to jump on today, last minute, and share with you those 5 fragrances that I do actually really love. I do, like I said, have a ton of fragrances I love, and then 5 fragrances that I don't love. And I'll give you reasons why. So I thought I would start with the first one that I love, and then we'll go into the one I don't love, and we'll just keep going like that, if that is okay with you guys. The first fragrance I want to talk about is definitely one that I love, and for those of you who know me really well, you know what I'm going to say. That would be Valentino Donna, Born in Roma, Odepa by Valentino. This really is one of my favorite fragrances. I love wearing this one. Now, you can wear this one year-round. I like to wear this one more like in the fall, when it's colder out and I can put my sweater on and I just spray this. It lasts a super long time. I find it to be very cozy, inviting, welcoming, just great. Now this opens with a black currant. You're going to get some hints of pink pepper, lots of jasmine in here. There's also some bourbon vanilla as well as gaiac wood. And this has this beautiful smokiness to it, which is why I think I'm really drawn to this particular fragrance. And there's also some slight sweetness, which I think is really, really nice. So if you have not had a chance to smell Donna Born in Roma, definitely try it. I've had people tell me that after I've reviewed this, they've gone out and smelled it and loved it and bought a bottle. So you never know, you may just really enjoy this one. All right, now the fragrance I don't love. That one is Shalimar Eau de Parfum by Guerlain. Something about this fragrance, now it's been 4 years since I've smelled it, but I remember spraying it on at Macy's and walking around, and I couldn't stand the smell of it. To my nose, it smelled like bug spray, and I found it a bit offensive. However, I will give it this. After about an hour, it dries down to a really nice, pleasant fragrance, but I cannot get over the opening. I don't know if it's that citrus in there that kind of reminds me of the citronella candle that is a bug repellent. So I don't know. But it also has some patchouli. There's also some vetiver in here as well as incense. There's leather, civet, and musk. Now the civet, I don't know if it's been reformulated and they use a synthetic version of civet or if they use the actual civet itself, but it also does have a very musky smell to it, which I don't really like in my fragrances. All right, so having said that, let's go back to a fragrance that I love. And that would be Plum and Cognac Eau de Parfum by Scents of Wood. This is a gorgeous unisex fragrance. If you love boozy, slightly sweet, smoky type of fragrances, this is definitely one that you will really enjoy. It has a gorgeous boozy rum. There's a juicy plum. There's some cinnamon, which gives it a slight spiciness. There's also a very smooth and creamy vanilla that mixes perfectly with vetiver. This reminds me a little bit, just a little bit, of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, but this one, in my opinion, is on a much higher level. It's very long lasting. It smells incredible. It projects extremely well. It is one of those fragrances that enters a room before you do, and it's the last to leave. And when I say that is, have you ever had where you've been somewhere or you enter a room and you know your particular friend was there just by the perfume, but they're gone now? That's what this, it just lingers. It's just stunning. All right, a fragrance I don't love would be Alien Eau de Parfum by Mugler. Now, this was my signature scent 5 years ago, and I loved it. I went through, I think, two or more bottles of it, and then it was reformulated. And what happened to it was that it got very watered down, in my opinion, and the performance was not as good as it used to be. So I tried it again 2 years ago, and I still am very disappointed in the fact that it just is not what I remember it to be. Now, it is a fragrance with lots of jasmine. There's some woody notes in here as well as amber. And the fragrance itself does actually remind me of the color purple. So if colors could have a scent, Alien is definitely the scent of purple, in my opinion. I wish they would have left this fragrance alone because it was perfect. I don't know what you guys think of it now. Do you have the reformulated version? And what do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. All right, let's go back to a fragrance that I love. And that would be the Venchi Signature Eau de Parfum by Hervé Laurent. This is one of my favorite tobacco fragrances. This is just smoky. It's that like warm pipe tobacco, if that makes sense. It's just slightly sweet. It mixes with some saffron. You're getting warm ginger, green leaves. There's some oud. And then again, as I mentioned, that tobacco, and then this creamy, smooth vanilla that's just like the icing on top. It just makes this just a fabulous fragrance. This is perfect. It's a unisex fragrance. Lasts a long time, projects extremely well, very likable. It is definitely one of those fragrances that gets a ton of compliments. Highly recommend this one. I'll put a link to their website in the description box. Now we're going back to a fragrance that I don't love, and that one is Chanel No. 5 by Chanel. And I know that's going to come as a shocker because a ton of people absolutely adore this fragrance. I know Marilyn Monroe wore this fragrance. It's like an iconic classic one. I just don't like it. Something terrible happens with this fragrance when it hits my skin. I'm not going to go into great detail, but I will tell you it has a urine scent on my skin. It just stinks on me, and it's unfortunate because it is such a popular fragrance. But yeah, it's a no-go for me. It will never be part of my fragrance collection. I still have a sample of it in my drawer, and every time I smell it, I get the same reaction. I don't like it. Now, this one is loaded. It's got the aldehydes. It has some peach. There's neroli, some jasmine. You've got your oat moss, vetiver, and patchouli in there. So it does have a lot of nice notes in there. It just, for some reason, the combination and then the chemistry with my skin is an absolute no-go for me. If you have it, let me know. I have smelled it on other people, and I have actually complimented people. What are you wearing? That smells great. And then I'm actually surprised when they say Chanel No. 5. Wish it smelled that great on me? It doesn't. All right, moving right along. We're going to another fragrance that I love, and that one is Contessa Eau de Parfum by Moresca. Great fragrance, stunning bottle. Their bottles are works of art, and the fragrances inside, in my opinion, are also works of art. This particular fragrance is so reminiscent of like this root beer kind of scent to me, which I absolutely adore. And I think that comes from that star anise, that nutmeg mixed together. Now, this is one of those fragrances that you can literally wear year round, and I just talked about it in my last video. So this is a great year-round fragrance. It's unisex. Some of the other notes in here, I think I mentioned rose. There's also vanilla and tonka bean. So really pleasing fragrance. I get compliments every time I wear this one. I love the performance. I love the projection. Fabulous fragrance. All right, let's go to another fragrance that I don't love. That would be Youth Dew Eau de Parfum by Este Lauder. I don't know what it is about this fragrance. Maybe it's all the spices in here mixing with the aldehydes. It smells to me very outdated, and I cannot get past that one. It just, I don't know. I know a lot of women like this one. I don't know. I have to walk away from it. I just don't enjoy it. But there's, like I said, spices and spices and spices mixed with aldehydes. And then you get like hints of lavender. There's a little bit of cinnamon. There's cloves in there. They definitely stand out. And I actually like cloves. There's some oak moss, tolu balsam, and the list just goes on and on and on. And because it is an older fragrance, back in the day, they used a lot more notes, I notice. But yeah, it's just overwhelming to me, and it doesn't sit well with me, doesn't smell good on me, so it's a hard pass for me. Let's go to one that I love, and that would be Hypnotic Poison Eau de Toilette by Dior. I love this one so, so much, and I'm so glad I ended up buying this one. I was actually looking for the Eau de Parfum at Macy's, and they only had the Eau de Toilette, but the lady said, trust me, you're going to love it. And I do. It has this soft almond in here that reminds me of that warm almond pastry that's maybe sprinkled with some powdered sugar, so there's some slight sweetness in here. There's coconut, apricot, vanilla, some sandalwood. Really pleasing scent. Now this, for an eau de toilette, I'm shocked, it lasts such a long time, not only on my skin, but also on my clothes. It really clings to my clothes, my sweaters, and I can actually smell it days later, which I love. Especially when you get a perfume, you want it to perform. You want to get your money's worth out of fragrances, and this one, you'll definitely get your money's worth. Absolutely love it. All right, and the last one that I don't love, that is Nirvana Rose Eau de Parfum by Elizabeth and James. And yes, I actually owned a bottle of this for less than 24 hours and I returned it. To me, it was so medicinal. That rose was so like inundated with this herbal, medicinal kind of scent in there that it just ruined it for me. Some people find it to be a beautiful smelling rose fragrance. For my nose, it just does something completely different. Now, I know there's a lot of geranium in here, and I don't mind geranium in my fragrances, but when it's a lot of it, I don't like it, and there's a lot of it in here. It kind of reminds me as if I were to go into one of those new age little shops. You know, the kind you open the door and then the wind chime goes off, and then there's crystals everywhere. And it has that very herbal, medicinal smell going on in there, mixed with something floral. That's what this reminds me of, and I don't know what it is. It literally burns my nose when I smell it, especially when you first spray it. It's extremely strong, and it stays that way. Not the strength of it, but that scent stays with you for the entire duration. It's not super long lasting, maybe 4 hours I had on my skin, but I literally was running back to the store with this particular fragrance. No offense to anyone that enjoys it. If you have this one, do you like it? Does it smell medicinal on you? Let me know in the comments. I'm just really, really curious. There you have the 5 I love, the 5 I don't love. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch it. I certainly appreciate it. Comment down below some of your favorite fragrances and some not so favorite. I really do enjoy engaging with you guys, so thank you. Remember, one spray can change your day. Have a good one, and I will see you again really soon.